Hey guys, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. I hope you're doing well, right? I always hope you guys are doing well. Please do me a favor before we start this video. Just hit the like button, right? It doesn't cost anything. It's free and it helps us more than you can believe with the algorithm. Do subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 50k as soon as possible. And then comment. I want lineup predictions, score predictions as well for this one. As Liverpool face Nottingham Forest at Anfield, 3 o'clock on Saturday, right? A lot of historic battles between these two in the 70s and the 80s. Don't forget that these two were the cream of the crop in European football and the elite clubs in the 1978 to 1981 era. So there's a lot of history between these two teams, as you'd expect. But the good news for Liverpool is that they're unbeaten in 25 home games against Forest. The last time that we lost to Nottingham Forest at Anfield was in 1969 under Bill Shankly, who lost that game 2-0. Forest have lost their last 3 Premier League games against Liverpool, their longest run of league defeats against the Reds since a run of 5 between 83 and 85. And Liverpool have now won all 3 of the Premier League games under new manager Arne Slot without conceding a goal. No manager in the competition's history has kept a clean sheet in each of their first 4 matches in charge, whilst only 6 have won each of their first 4, most recently Maurizio Sarri in 2018. However, Forest are unbeaten in 4 Premier League matches, winning 2, drawing 2, their longest such run since under Nuno Espirito Santo, whilst not since February 2023 have they enjoyed a longer unbeaten streak in the division of 5 games. But Liverpool have only lost once in their last 24 Premier League matches that have immediately followed an international break. The last time was that City defeat in April 2023, but playing at Anfield, the Reds haven't lost since September 2014, and that was against Aston Villa. I remember the game. I think it was Wyman that scored the goal. So yeah, listen, Mo Salah has scored in each of his 3 Premier League games so far, as we know, and could be the second only ever Liverpool player to score 4 in a row in the first 4 games of the season after Daniel Sturridge in 2013-14. You remember that? So listen, all the stats go in our favour, especially when you remember the last minute winner, literally last second winner that we got back at the City ground in March. Darwin Núñez header. He probably won't be starting this game, but the context of this game is we need to win. I'd like us to keep another clean sheet, and it really enforces and backs up the great start that Liverpool have had under Arne Slot so far. Chris Wood has scored 4 of Forest's last 5 Premier League goals, including 2 of their 3 so far this season, but he's played Liverpool 11 times in his career and never scored. So touch wood, that stat does nothing but continue. So as I said, all the stats in Liverpool's favour. Let's get into the lineup prediction. It will be Alisson, it will be Trent, who is fresh off the back of getting 2 man of the matches and creating 7 chances across 2 games for England against Ireland and Finland respectively. Ibou Konate and Virgil van Dijk will come back in, as we know, and then Andy Robertson, who played for Scotland in the break, will be at the left back position. It's pretty much unchanged, guys. It's not pretty much. It is unchanged because Gravenberch has carried on his form for Holland. He'll definitely play alongside Alexis McAllister. And then Szoboszlai up front, well, in the 10 or the 8, whatever you want to call it these days. And then it will be Diaz, who wasn't injured, touch wood. Jota wasn't injured, touch wood. And neither was Mo Salah, and did score for Egypt as well, a little tap in. But you take them all day. So that's the team. And again, I think at some stage he will switch up the team, even if there aren't injuries. I do think the legs, the competition, the minutes that are still facing Liverpool across September, October and November, you're going to have to bring in players and swap players out. But the key thing for us in this game to look out for is the fact that Federico Chiesa could and probably will make his debut for Liverpool. Our new number 14 was brought in as a backup for Mo Salah. But I'm absolutely enthralled to see this guy play for Liverpool. He's going to give us something else. A little bit of an injury update on McAllister, Chiesa, Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones. Let's have a look. This has literally just come out. Yeah, as we know, he got an adductor injury, did McAllister, but again played in the game after that. Was reported to be in pain after the training session from the first game. but he did score for his country, and it was a good finish as well. So it looks like he's going to be fit and ready for the game. Doesn't surprise me. He's a warrior. He'll play through the pain barrier. Obviously provides stability and and recoveries, but also can go forward with that creativity as well. And Chiesa again looks to have really got his feet under the table at Melwood. At the AXA very recently. He didn't rush into international action. He must have had a conversation with the Italian kind of team and then said, look, I'd rather stick behind, put the work in at the AXA, make myself ready for my debut. But obviously Slot won't rush that. But I do think this will be his debut, and who knows, could he come on and make an impact? I mean, we've seen him play on the left, we've seen him play on the right. It wouldn't surprise me if he comes on in the right position. However, it looks like he will be involved on Saturday. So how excited are you at home to finally watch Federico Chiesa in action for LFC? Me, very much so. I can't wait to see him. That pace, that creativity, that eagerness to impress the fans. I think that's the key thing that we've been waiting to see. We know how enthralled and happy and proud and honoured he is to play for Liverpool. Big shout out to Mario, right, who actually gave him and his family a personal tour of Anfield very recently, and that was a great occasion for Mario, and I'm proud of him for doing that. So he knows Chiesa now. They're on first name basis, but as I said, hopefully he comes on. Imagine if he scored. Imagine if he gets an assist. He's going to go absolutely wild, and you can imagine that the songs are going to start off, and probably from this week as well. So big up to Federico Chiesa. The bad news is that Harvey Elliott obviously looks like he's going to have a lengthy layoff. We did touch on that on the channel yesterday. Big blow for Slot. It cuts deep into Liverpool's depth. It makes us a little bit more shallow. Obviously, we're hoping for a swift recovery to see him back, hopefully before the end of October. But that absence does open up the door for the likes of Curtis Jones to step up, fill that gap. But at the minute, we're looking at maybe after the international break for his return. But listen, I'm really excited for this game. You have to keep a strong eye on Elanga. You've got to keep close tabs on Morgan Gibbs-White, who's on the thumbnail of this video. Let's not forget, last season, it really wasn't an easy day at Anfield against Forest. I think it was 3-2, and they should have scored right at the end as well. So they have got tricky players, right? They're combative in the midfield. Obviously Nico Williams returning to Anfield. Divock Origi was there last season, so there are some links there. And they'll travel. They will travel, Forest fans. They always do. And they'll make it uncomfortable. But it's all about the start for me in this one, right? Can you go 2-0 up, 3-0 up in the first half? Can you really kill the game and then actually allow some players to come off and rest up a little bit? But I'd be silly to say anything other than a home win. That's what I truly believe. Again, I'd love us. How important, let me ask you this question. What would you prefer? That we win 2-1 or we win 1-0 with a clean sheet? For me, getting these clean sheets under the belt, I don't think people realise how impressive it is. It doesn't matter who you're playing against in the Premier League. Every single team is capable of scoring. And of course, we're not going to keep a clean sheet throughout the whole season. But the more that the hours build up where you haven't conceded a goal, the confidence builds as well. So I would love a clean sheet. I am going to go for 3-0 Liverpool. I do think we've got it in us to deliver a bit of a rout. But at the same time, Trent is going to have to be on it coming up against Elanga, who actually spun him a few times in that game last year. Robertson's going to have to be on it. A lot of wide players that drift inside at Forest, they will be spamming crosses in as well. So can he stop the source of that? But the main standout thing that I'd like to see in this game is that Federico Chiesa impactful substitution. I'd love to see him get some minutes and really bed in, knowing that we've got a massive period of congested fixtures in all types of competitions and leagues coming up. So listen, it's going to be a tough game as they all are in the Premier League. No one's saying it's going to be easy, but if we can win this one, right, that's 4 out of 4. And then you look around at Arsenal, right? They've got to go to, I sound like Kevin Keegan, they've got to go to Tottenham and get something. City have got Brentford at home. You fully expect them to win. But all we can do is our job. We can only beat the teams that are put out in front of us. So Of course, I'm predicting a Liverpool win. What are you predicting? Let us know in the chat. Don't forget, we'll be outside the stadium after the game on Saturday, and you're going to get a video, an instant match reaction from myself and Doyle. It'll be Mario on fan cams, and then we go back into the podcast on Monday, and it's actually Doyle's birthday on Monday, so look forward to that. But guys, lineup predictions. Am I right? Am I wrong? Score predictions, wrong or right? Let me know in the chat, and then let me know your general feeling for this game. After this, we have West Ham in the Cup next week. Again, a chance for changes. Chiesa could start that one as well. So touchwood, Liverpool get through this unscathed. I'd like to see a big performance. I'd like to see goals, but more importantly, I'd like to see a clean sheet. So let me know your thoughts for this one in the chat, and we'll see you on Saturday. Vamos Rojos.